Hi Heidi, how are you doing today?
Hey Nicola, I'm doing super good. How are you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was really good. Thanks. I had my birthday, so lots of celebrating and indulging in nice food and wine and just time with family. So it was lovely. Thanks. Yeah, did you have a
Nice.
good one?
Yeah, we had a little taste of summer almost here. So we did some gardening and we plant all sorts of stuff here, broccoli and peppers and all carrots and everything. So that
Oh,
was fun. Yeah.
very good. Very good. So I was thinking today might be a good day to talk about calorie counting, and we've both mentioned food already in our weekends.
True.
And I just thought calorie count is something that, oh, you hear so often, don't you? You know, a lot of my friends talk about it, obviously, clients, it's always in the media. So, yeah, I just thought I'd ask you what you think about the topic and how you work around calories with your clients.
Yeah, I think it's a really great one, especially because it sort of in one way is the be all end all if you're wanting to lose weight. You have to do the calories in, calories out calculation. But I also think people take it too far to the be all end all, and then they're not paying so much attention to what they're putting in their bodies in terms of like content, and rather just like hyper focused on those calories. But I do think like what I've seen be super enlightening to people is to just start paying attention, because I think most people just don't even have any concept of what they're taking in, right? So it's like if you just start tracking it, like using one of those free apps, it's pretty enlightening to be like, oh my gosh, that's how much I eat in a day. That's so interesting. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you, but probably less so on considering calories at all, if I'm really honest. Um, I think, oh, in the grand scheme of things, yes, you need to eat, consume less calories than what your body is using. But
Right.
it's nigh on impossible to be able to accurately work out the calories that you're eating and also what you were using. You know, calories is a very, very old measure, and it's something that hasn't been updated. I think it was in the late 1800s that it was invented. And I really like someone who's a big scientist globally called Dr. Tim Spector. He's amazing. And
Okay.
he has chatted about this. I've got a couple of his books as well. I listen to his podcast. And he was talking about how calories change, like depending on the way that you cook food as well. So he talks about a stick of celery having very, very, very few calories. But then when you use that in food, for example, it changes its density and calorific content. And so we've got that, I think, happening on a much bigger scale because of how many of us in the Western world eat. Do you know that we eat out a lot?
Yeah.
We, you know, yeah, just making our own foods at home from different ingredients. And so I think it's something that can make people really fixated in a way that isn't helpful. I think what you said about, in a total perspective, you need to be mindful of eating less than what you're using. But I'm much more on the camp of quality of food, like the fuel you're putting in and how
Yes.
that's playing out. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I always tell my clients I would rather you completely toss the calorie counting out of the window and focus on, say at the end of the day, you're like, oh God, I don't want to go over my calories. So instead, I'm going to like sit here and snack on, I don't know, like some pretzels or a piece of bread or something like that, instead of eating something that might be more calorie dense, but more nutritionally
Mhm.
dense. I'm always going to be in the camp of like get those nutrients in your body, and especially as you and I've talked about before with protein. I have one client who is so stuck in like calorie counting ways that she will always sacrifice getting the protein she needs in order to stay underneath the calories. And I'm like, no, this is the opposite of what we want to be doing here. So I very much understand what you're saying about that. And I'm also in that camp. If you're going
Mm.
to pick one or the other, you've got to go for the nutrition, and the content or the quality of what you're putting in your body. Yeah, for sure. Have you
Yeah.
had your own journey with it by any chance? Like, I know I have.
Do you know what? I've never actually counted calories. I have gone to weight loss clubs and done their version of it with points and so on. And I was
Mhm.
pretty hooked on that mindset for many years of, counting, not the calories, but counting what I was eating in their own branded way. Um, and being very fixated with the number of points that I had to spend and how I could save them for the weekend and then indulge in the weekend. Just that whole mindset and belief system so harmful because it wasn't focused in any way on quality of food. Something like an avocado. I mean, I'm talking quite a number of years ago, but that was probably about half of your day's allowance. But we
Right.
know the nutritional value of eating
Right.
avocado. And so, I was eating a lot of low sugar, low fat, unnutritious food, basically, like lots of unhealthy things like low fat snack bars and a lot of sweet stuff, but made with artificial sweetness. So just not a very nutritious, helpful diet for what you want beyond just weight loss, which now I know is a lot more of the puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I couldn't agree more. I also think it's really interesting when you teach people about basal metabolic rate and how much energy your body actually needs just to exist. And then even like how much your brain needs, right? It kind of shifts your perspective from wanting to starve your body of calories and allows you to think about, oh, let me actually think about what I'm putting in my body to help it run more efficiently and help me have more
Mm.
energy and all of that. You know what I mean? Because we do require a lot of calories just to exist.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? We're all so individual and our lifestyles can be very different. For example, I'm standing at my desk now. I got this desk a few weeks ago. I had been sitting down, for a lot of time, especially since the start of COVID when I started home working. And, so somebody who's standing like this most of the day, there's somebody who's sitting down uses a great deal more energy and therefore calories. But when you're calorie counting without that knowledge, you're not going to take that into account. And it's the same, that you're using more, but then you might also just completely get your calories, counted wrongly throughout the day because again of the, just discrepancies in it all. And so you could end up with this huge disparity between what you think you need to lose weight, which is what most people who count calories are doing it for, and what you're actually using, for either end of the scale. You could be massively overeating calories or having a big, deficit, which is again not healthy. So yeah, I just think there's so little knowledge in many people of, anything else in nutrition beyond calories, that it's not given that more whole person approach, is it? And we know as well that weight loss, it comes from more than just the calories as
Yeah.
well, which is a factor that so many people miss. I mean, is that something that you see, in your community and with clients?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Mm.
But I think my tip always is, and it's funny because I think you and I are in like slightly different camps on this, but I've just seen people kind of go, "Oh, that's really interesting." Is I'm like, just spend a week and track everything and pay attention
Mm.
because I really think that once you realize how much your body actually needs, you're gonna like stop starving it, trying to lose weight. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's always my number one tip that I give. What would be your
Yeah.
number one wrap-up tip?
Um, I think it's about getting clear on how you want to feel and then having that goal there to work back from. Because if you do really want to lose weight, then, some form of tracking, maybe in a calorie counting type of method, could be what you need versus somebody who doesn't have that as a goal. So just being really clear on, the way you want to feel and how you want to change so that then you can come up with the right action plan.
Right, because if tracking calories makes you feel like crap, don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it, isn't it? There's not a one size fits all approach, which
Yeah.
is what we keep saying, most weeks, isn't it? And I just think it can be more harmful than good from a mental health point of view. And that's, again, what you've got to take into account. So yeah, build all of those factors in and do what works for you, I guess is the message.
Cool. Well, I like it.
Yeah,
I'll take some of that with me into my clients this week.
very good. Well, I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to chatting again next Monday. And hopefully, we've just given people a bit of food for thought. Excuse the
Yeah.
pun.
Thanks, Nicola.
All right. Oh, thanks, Heidi. Bye. Bye.
Bye.